would like to quote my husband, who has been an entrepreneur for 15 years, and he says, it's actually perseverance and resilience. It's about keep pushing forward and never giving up. And so far, I would 100% prescribe to that.
I love to say that I try to lead by example, and I think that if you want your people to work and to be motivated, you have to be the first person working, the first person being motivated in the company. And that's what I try to do every day, being there with them, working with them on difficult and less difficult problems, and just sharing time with them.
I think it's important to have a bold vision at first, but also the motivation and the energy to bring it to a completion, bring it to market, have the endurance, motivate your team every day and be at the front of everything that happens in the startup.
So first of all, a lot of enthusiasm, because at the end of the day, you are the role model in the company. So your employees, your partners, your colleagues, they look up to you, so you need to convince them also about the company, about the products, the technology. Second of all, of course, it's very important also to be a team player. A startup is something that is a rapidly evolving thing. There are challenges that you do not anticipate. It's very dynamic. So having flexibility to respond to this is definitely, I think, one of the keys. And then, of course, also having some robustness to pressure and to uncertainty helps as well.
I think you need passion for what you're doing. You need to profoundly believe in what you're doing. I see my team are amazing, and I think what you need is to admire profoundly what your team is doing. I mean, I'm feeling lucky every day when I see my team, Pascal, Michel, all the Nuo, Véronique, they are amazing people. And getting up in the morning to work with people you admire, I think it's the best you can do.
The key characteristic or personality trait that I would say is resilience. This is totally critical, because it's not always going to be the way we want. It's not always going to be as planned. It's not always going to be as fast or as successful as we want. So it's just to still be solid in our mental, and also to try to surround yourself with a good support group, and not just with your co-founders, etc. But it's going to be not easy ride, but very exciting.
So I think one of the characteristics that's probably I find in myself that's most needed, or maybe this is just something that I'm good at, is patience or perseverance, right? Because things are constantly failing in a startup. You have to try things 1,000 different ways before it works. And I think that's really one of the key things to be able to handle all the ups and downs of a startup, is perseverance.
Well, I would say, first of all, it's a lot about resilience. As a startup CEO, you will face many challenges within the team, within the company, but also to the outside. And the other thing is, it's also compassion, especially internally, because you are going through so much. And all you are focusing on is the company and driving it further. But people, they're not always seeing that. So you need to understand and kind of motivate your team, among others.
I think as a co-founding team, we have a lot of integrity. We have a lot of determination, which you need to have as a startup, because there's lots of ups and downs. And we just showed that recently, where we went through a period where we didn't have funds, and we really pulled together as a team and made it through. So there's lots of things, having honesty and transparency in the team is super important. And always being able to sort of, to look critically at what you're doing and not be afraid to make changes, and listen. You have to listen to your employees, to your customers, to your partners. So maybe that's the most important thing.
Well, I think it's important to, manage people right, and also be having a good network and good relations, because we can, as a startup, not solve every problem ourselves, but we need to know who to ask for solving problems and reach out to the right people.